Let us consider the second example on Clairaut's partial differential equation. So here it is asked to find the complete integral as well as the singular integral of the partial differential equation z equal to px plus qy plus p into q. This is in the Clairaut's form, and here we are observing that the nonlinearity is in the last term, that is p into q, and the differential equation is of first order as the p and q terms are of first order, and the differential equation is definitely in the Clairaut's form. Therefore it is a Clairaut's partial differential equation that is belonging to type number 4. So let us first call this equation as equation number 1, and in order to get the complete solution, complete integral, it is very simple. What is to be done? P is to be replaced by a, and q is to be replaced by b. So this is a simple job we have to do in the beginning in order to get the complete integral. So p is replaced by a, q is replaced by b in 1 to get the solution z equals ax plus by plus a into b. Call it as equation number 2, and this is the required complete integral Ci, because it is containing two arbitrary constants. As there are two independent variables in the given PDE, the solution containing two arbitrary constants is a complete integral. We have obtained it so easily. Now to get the singular integral, we have to struggle a little bit, and what is to be done for that? We have to differentiate the complete integral just now which we have obtained with respect to a and with respect to b separately. So first let us differentiate with respect to a. So that implies on LHS it is 0 because z should be treated as a constant, while differentiating with respect to a it is 0, and on RHS it is a differentiation is 1, x differentiation it is as it is, because while differentiating with respect to a, x remains as a constant as it is, a differentiation is 1, plus b is a constant, y is also a constant, therefore it is totally a constant, its derivative is 0, plus a is to be treated as a should be differentiated with respect to a, that gives you 1, and b remains as a constant, so it is this much, and from this the value of b can be obtained directly as minus x, that is. Similarly when we differentiate with respect to with respect to b partially, equation number 2 is giving us 0 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it is 0 because it should be treated as a constant, plus b differentiation is 1, y should be treated as a constant, therefore it remains as it is, b differentiation is 1, plus a into b, when we differentiate it with respect to b, a should be treated as a constant, b differentiation is 1, so it is only a remaining, so that implies a value from this is minus y. So let us substitute these two values into the complete integral which we have obtained in equation number 2. So therefore equation number 2 implies z equals a value is minus y into x, plus b value is minus x into y, plus a value is minus x, b value is minus y. So this implies z equals minus xy minus into minus plus xy. So 1 minus xy cancels with 1 plus xy here because of opposite sign, and that implies the final solution, that is z equal to minus x into y. This is the required singular integral of the given partial differential equation which is in the Clairaut's form. So this is how we have obtained the singular integral of the given PDE. Now we shall try one more example. The third example here is to solve z minus px minus qy equals to c into square root of 1 plus p square plus q square. We should observe here that this constant c is a parameter given to us. It is not an arbitrary constant. It is a parameter which is specified in the problem. Now it should be kept as it is throughout the problem. The given partial differential equation can be converted into the Clairaut's form simply by taking these two terms to the right hand side. So therefore, if we rearrange the terms, that is if we transfer these two terms on the right hand side, it is z equal to px plus qy plus the last term, that is c into square root of 1 plus p square plus q square. This is the differential equation which is in the Clairaut's form. Let us call it as equation number 1. Again, the non-linearity is here, and therefore the the differential equation, partial differential equation, is of first order non-linear partial differential equation of Clairaut's form. Z equal to, when we replace p by a and q by b, and here also in the square root p by a q by b, we get 2, equation number 2, and this will be called as the complete integral of the given PDE. So this is the complete integral of the complete given partial differential equation. It is very easy to get it directly by replacement of p with a and q with b. Now to find the singular integral, what we need to do, we need to differentiate the complete integral which we have obtained here with respect to a and b. First we shall differentiate with respect to a, so that gives us 0 here on LHS because z is to be treated as a constant. That is equal to 1 into x. Differentiation is with respect to a first, so 1 into x, it is x, this is 0, plus c as it is. Root differentiation is 1 by 2 root, whatever is there inside we have to write down that quantity within the root kept as it is. Now into the differentiation of this quantity with respect to a, 0 plus 2a plus 0, so it is only 2a. So this 2 cancelled, so therefore from this we are going to get the value of x equals to minus c into a. It is 2 cancelled, c into a. When it is transferred to the other side along with its denominator, in the denominator we are having square root of 1 plus a square plus b square. On the other side it becomes minus, so call it as equation number 3. Similarly, when we differentiate with respect to b, the same equation number 2, that is the complete integral, we are going to get 0 here on left hand side, equal to, this is totally 0 because it should be treated as a constant, plus b differentiation is 1, y should be treated as a constant as it is, plus again c as it is. Differentiation of root is 1 by 2 root, whatever quantity is there within the root we should keep it as it is, and then the differentiation of that quantity within the root, 0 plus 2b, because the differentiation is with respect to b now, therefore it is this much. Now 2 cancelled, and in the numerator it is c into b divided by this root. When we transfer that to the other side, we get the value of y equal to minus c into b divided by square root of the root, that is 1 plus a square plus b square, and let us call it as equation number 4 for our convenience. Now we will try to get the value of a and b by using these two equations and this equation 2, of course. In order to do that, in this problem it is convenient if we square and add these two equations 3 and 4. That is, square and add equations 3 and 4. That implies x square plus y square on the left hand side. On the right hand side, it is minus whole square is plus c square a square divided by the root and the square cancels, only 1 plus a square plus b square remains, plus square of this is c square b square divided by square is square and square root going off, 1 plus a square plus b square, the same denominator remaining. Now this implies x square plus y square as it is on LHS. On RHS, if we take the LCM, 1 plus a square plus b square remains as an LCM. Here c square a square plus here c square b square will be coming in the numerator. Now one more very important step we have to note down here, that is we have to consider c square minus of this thing, that is x square plus y square. That is what we are doing. We are subtracting the quantity which we have obtained here from c square. That is c square minus this thing. If we consider on the right hand side, what happens? C square minus of c square a square plus c square b square divided by 1 plus a square plus b square. And in the next step, let us simplify this. C square minus x square minus y square equals to, if we take LCM, it is 1 plus a square plus b square, and here it is multiplying with this 1 plus a square plus b square is multiplying with c square, therefore it is c square plus 1 c square plus c square a square plus c square b square. Now these terms should be kept as they are with the multiplication with minus sign, minus c square a square minus c square b square. So here let us cancel the opposite sign terms. So it is c square a square minus c square a square cancelling, c square b square minus c square b square will be cancelling out. So the remaining thing is on LHS, it is c square minus x square minus y square as it is. On RHS, it is simply c square divided by 1 plus a square plus b square. If we cross multiply, we will get this 1 plus a square plus b square equals to c square divided by c square minus x square minus y square. Here we have to identify that the constants a and b are the arbitrary constants, whereas c is a given constant, that is a parameter present in the problem. Therefore this is totally a known quantity, whereas this is the unknown quantity here, because a and b are unknowns which are available, and this value we can substitute in the radical, that is in the square root of 1 plus a square b square we are having, where we can substitute this value and we can proceed further. Now we shall use equations 3 and 4. Equations 3 and 4, if we observe, we are having x is equal to minus ca divided by this root, and equation 4 is y equal to minus cb divided by this root. So if we rearrange the terms here in equations 3 and 4, we can get the value of a as a equals to x into root of 1 plus a square plus b square divided by minus c. Similarly, we can get the value of b. So we shall write down those two values over here. Please look at equations 3 and 4. Now equation 3 is implying a equals to minus x by c into square root of 1 plus a square plus b square, and equation 4 is implying b equal to minus y by c into square root of 1 plus a square plus b square, that is. So here we are having the value of 1 plus a square plus b square root of that we shall substitute it here. That implies a equals to minus x by c as it is. The value of this under root is c square under root is c divided by root of c square minus x square minus y square, and here the value of b is minus y by c into the bracket c divided by square root of c square minus x square minus y square. Now in the next step c square cancelled, so that implies a equals to minus x divided by square root of c square minus x square minus y square, and b equal to c cancelled, it is minus y divided by square root of c square minus x square minus y square. So we got the value of a and we got the value of b here. Let us substitute these two values of a and b in the complete integral 2. Therefore 2 implies, if we substitute them in the complete integral, which is just like z equal to a into x. A value is here, that is minus x divided by square root of c square minus x square minus y square into x, that is plus b into y. B is minus y divided by square root of c square minus x square minus y square, so into y, ax plus by plus c into square root of a square plus b square plus c square value is here, that is we shall write down the value of that, that is c square divided by c square minus x square minus y square. So the value of the value which we obtained in the previous step, that is the value of this 1 plus a square plus b square under root it is, so we have to take whole to the power half, or we can make it c and we can take a square root here. That will be the value required, and let us rearrange the terms to get the final singular integral. Z equal to x into x, it is x squared with minus sign, it is minus, and we are observing one more thing over here, that square root of c square minus x square minus y square root of c square minus x square minus y square root of 1 by 2 whole to the power of 1 by 2 means square root of c square minus x square minus y square, it is everywhere. Therefore let us take it outside, 1 divided by square root of c square minus x square minus y square. If we take it outside, here remains minus x square, x into x minus, it is minus x square, y into y square with minus y square, and it is plus sign, c square under root is c into c is c square, so it is again c square minus x square minus y square we are having. So it is just like the quantity, for example m divided by root m, say for example. So this m can be written as root m into root m divided by root m as it is. So root m cancelled, root m remains. So the final value is z equal to square root of c square minus x square minus y square, c square minus x square minus y square. This is the required complete integral. Please you watch here, we have cancelled this root into root, one more root we will be having here in the numerator. Root and one root cancels, one root remains here. Z equal to root of c square minus x square minus y square. That will be the required singular integral of the given partial differential equation. If we want to further simplify, we can square on both sides, and we can have z square equal to c square minus x square minus y square, or even we can have x square plus y square equal to c square. That is an equation of a sphere as the singular integral of the given partial differential equation, which is in the Clairaut's form. With this, let me stop here. We will continue with the next topic, that is the Char-Pitts method for solving the first order non-linear partial differential equation which are of any kind, in the next video. Thank you very much.